charm in the tough NFC South this year, and the Atlanta Falcons trying to break that, and the New Orleans Saints glad they're back home at the Superdome in New Orleans. Another critical NFC South battle, the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. And looking at the standings coming in, the Falcons are one game behind Tampa Bay and Carolina, who play tomorrow night, with New Orleans 6-6 in fourth place. And welcome everyone to the Crescent City. Dick Stockton along with Brian Billick and Brian Baldinger, and every game in the division has been won by the home team this year, and that presents a stiff challenge for the Falcons, who are in the midst of a remarkable turnaround year. So Baldy, how do they get it done today?
Well, you know, their two big offensive stars have been huge every week. I mean, Matt Ryan, one mistake, one interception in the last 5 games. They're 4-1 in those games. Michael Turner leads the NFL with 13 rushing touchdowns. That's a give and dip. The biggest reason for this turnaround in my mind is the defense. They're one of 4 teams in this league so far this year that haven't given up 30 points in a game. And the catalyst is defensive end John Abraham, who's playing his best football in 9 years, to the point where Sean Payton has said our #1 priority today in offense is to take care of John Abraham.
And the Falcons better play a good defensive game against this prolific Saints offense. But they're in a position, Coach, where they have to win all of their remaining games and then get help. Tough position to be in.
Well, the New Orleans Saints ought to be on top of the world. They're at home where they're 5-1. They've got a record-setting quarterback and the #1 offense in the National Football League. So what's the problem? Sean Payton knows his problem is they don't have balance. They're averaging less than 90 yards a game running the ball, and they know that they've got to get more out of their running game to have that balance if they're going to get where they want to go. The last time they played these Atlanta Falcons, they threw for over 400 yards and lost.
Well, that's 4 weeks ago, so that game very fresh in the minds of both teams. So, beautiful day in New Orleans. We welcome you to the Superdome. Coming up next, the Falcons and the Saints.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Here at the Louisiana Superdome, getting set for the start of today's game. The Saints won the toss and they'll get the ball. As you look at very impressive first-year head coach Mike Smith. Team has already won twice as many as they did last year. He said it'll be interesting playing for the first time in an indoor stadium as a visiting team. They, of course, play at the Georgia Dome. And Sean Payton, who always great spirit, rallying his team, and knows that they have to win them all the rest of the way, and you have to start with this game. They've got 2 games on the road against Chicago and Detroit before finishing here against Carolina. So we're set to go. Michael Kanan will be kicking off for the Falcons, and Courtney Roby will be back deep for the Saints. Neither team has been able to put together a decent win streak. The Falcons today can win their 3rd in a row for the first time this year, and the Saints have not been able to win more than 2 straight. This game is underway, and Roby returning from the 7. Gets an opening and brings it out to the 27-yard line. And that's where Drew Brees will go to work. And at home this season, he has been magic. 5-1 in his record, 17 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and great percentage as well. As we look at the Saints offense, of course, the return of Reggie Bush last week, but did not play the first time these teams played. And the rest of the offensive players, and playing on familiar surroundings here at the Superdome. First down from the 27. Pierre Thomas is the running back, and he gets the call, and a good gain on first down by Thomas. And Thomas stopped by Keith Brooking after picking up 7. Let's take a look at the Falcons defense. 23rd against the pass. That's not good against Drew Brees, is it?
Well, the one guy that can put pressure on them is John Abraham. And they know today that they have got to keep an eye on John Abraham and account for him every single play. He's the guy right now. He's going to the other side. He's going to be looking for the best matchup and the quickest route to getting to Drew Brees.
2nd down and 3. The defensive lineman gets back for the Falcons, and here is Thomas. And Thomas's second effort will be stopped short by 1.5 yards from first down yardage. And it was Jonathan Babineau.
Baldy, we can see right from the get-go, we talked about Sean Payton talked about, they've got to run the ball better. They've got to have balance. And to do that, at some point, you've got to run well between the tackles. Very first two plays, challenging Atlanta right between the tackles.
And Pierre Thomas is the guy that averaging almost 5 yards a carry the last 4 games. He's been very productive. They believe in him, and they want to find out if he can be that guy that can run between the tackles.
Gained only 34 yards against Tampa Bay, and they go to Thomas again, and he is stopped. And a big play defensively made again by Babineau. So the middle of the line for the Atlanta Falcons sends the Saints to 3 and out.
Well, the key to running the ball is running it when you have to. And in the middle right here is Jonathan Babineau. They call him the Iron Man. He plays more snaps than anybody. Splits the double team there between Carl Nix and Jonathan Goodwin. Got the penetration and stopped Pierre Thomas.
So Glenn Pakalak will be kicking. Signed in week 10, and Harry Douglas, the rookie from Louisville, one of the new players that have boosted the Falcons this year, and a good high kick by Pakalak. And Douglas inside the 20-yard line, muffed a kick last week against San Diego, and Usama Young makes the play after the short gain of 2. So Matt Ryan, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 5 games, and you can already name him Rookie of the Year. There they have Turner, and let's not forget Roddy White, the wide receiver, and a solid offensive line, Baldy.
The offensive line has been outstanding. Sam Baker, the #1 pick, has been out the last 6 weeks. Todd Weiner's going over the left tackle. But Harvey Dahl and Tyson Clabo on the right side have really played well.
From the 22-yard line, and Matt Ryan will flip it out, and it's dropped by Michael Turner, who is open on the left side. And that will bring up 2nd down and 10, taking a look at the Saints defense. Now, Will Smith is in the starting lineup, not Jeff Charleston. And of course, we'll be talking about those suspensions and the fact the judge made the decision. And Josh Bullocks is the free safety in the rest of the group.
This group has had a lot of injuries. There's a lot of players in here that have seen some limited time. They're going to get tested by this very balanced Atlanta offense.
14 players on injured reserve for the Saints, coach. And the running play to Turner. And Turner, very big, bust one. And Turner will, after being nearly stopped after a couple of yards, bust one close to midfield to the 47, gaining 26.
Well, guys on the Saints said he's like the human bowling ball, but with deceptive speed. They have him bottled up here. I mean, right now, Vilma's got him. He runs through Vilma. He runs through Jason David. And that's when he's most dangerous. When he gets into the open field, this guy has got speed. Look at that. Covers up the ball. Got a little splint on his right thumb, but he's protecting it. And now he's got breakaway speed.
And Randall Gay, the cornerback for the Saints, shaken up. He'll take a timeout.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Coach Osama Young replaces Randall Gay. Boy, they've been hit hard in the secondary.
Well, and when you lose a player like Randall Gay, now you've got your nickel player starting in the secondary. You've got to put a backup nickel player in. It's a tough combination.
First down on the 48, play action for Ryan. And the pass is caught by Michael Jenkins. And Jenkins has run out of bounds in New Orleans territory at the 38. And a gain of 14 as we check in with Laura Oakman.
Thank you, Dick. With 2 of the most explosive offenses in the league, we should see a lot of scoring today, but the most important score may be the first one. All week, Sean Payton has been telling his team we cannot let the Falcons get off to a quick start, and here's why. When Atlanta scores first this season, they are 8-1, 0-3 when their opponent strikes first.
And that's a concern for Sean Payton, Laura, without question. Meanwhile, the Falcons are driving. Here is Turner up the middle, and Michael Turner getting close to the first down, maybe a bit shy, as Scott Fujita brings down the bowling ball before he hits the pins.
Well, he knocked down a bunch of pins on this one, Dick. And look inside here to this right side. That's Harvey Dahl and Tyson Clabo. They double team Cedric Ellis right out of the mix there. I mean, just rolled him out. And then the bowling ball. Like, that's a pretty good hole. That's not bad. You know, he got himself all covered up. Not going to let anybody rip that ball out. It takes a bunch of Saints with him.
120 yards against San Diego in the win on the road last week, and it's the fullback Obi Mahaley, and he'll have enough for the first down. So Mahaley, who spent 4 years with the Ravens and playing for Coach Billick, gets the first down after picking up a couple.
And having a fullback like Mahaley is a big plus for a team. Mike Carney on the other side of the ball, he's been hurt the last couple of weeks for New Orleans. That's a big reason why they haven't run the ball very well. But Baldy, New Orleans has got to be much more aggressive building that 8-man box, don't they? Otherwise, Atlanta's just going to run this thing right down their throat.
Well, you play them with 7 men, and they're in an 8-man front right now. Well, now they're back in a 7. I mean, they'll keep running it. Matt Ryan will check to a run when they're in that situation.
First down on the 27, and here is another running play, but this time the Saints do come up on the play as Usama Young makes the stop on Michael Turner, and no gain, maybe a yard for Turner.
This is what the coach is talking about here. You can see guys cheating up, coming into the situation here. There's Usama Young coming up and making the hit from the quarterback position along with Vilma. Vilma's been very active this year. Usama Young now in there for Randall Gay because of that injury that happened on the first play.
And 3 down linemen for the Saints on 2nd down and 9. Ball is at the 26, and out of the shotgun, the quick pass is intercepted and taken down. Jason David tackled from behind. So David, who had a couple of interceptions 2 weeks ago, continues his torrid play as the interception right here.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Well, Matt Ryan is upset with himself. As soon as he let that ball go, he knew he made a mistake. One of the few mistakes he's made this year to that degree.
And the handoff to Reggie Bush. And he's going to break it. And down inside the 20-yard line on a collision in which a defender ran into a St. Clair. It was Lawyer Malloy first missed him. And a huge burst of 43 yards, first and goal.
This is the longest run of the year by Reggie Bush. He looks like that was a huge hole. And now he looks like the best punt returner in the league, just going right down the middle of the defense. Didn't even see Lance Moore at the end, trying to throw him a block. He was so set on scoring on this play.
And the first rush of 30 yards or longer for Reggie Bush. And it's going to be Pierre Thomas, and gets tripped up as he gets to the 6-yard line. So the 43-yard run by Bush following the interception by Jason David.
Well, here's Jason David looking right at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan knew as soon as he let this ball go, he was throwing it to the outside. Jason David was keying on him.
And Baldy, you alluded to it earlier. You can know, Matt Ryan right now knows, oh my gosh, I don't know if he didn't see Jason David or underestimated what the depth Roddy White was going to pull up, but he knew right away, oh, I got to get down there and keep the touchdown off the board.
2nd and goal from the 5. And here is Breeze pass. First touchdown. He was not himself last week playing in the rain outdoors in Tampa Bay, but Reggie Bush coming back big, and remember, did not play in the previous meeting 4 weeks ago, and he puts the Saints in front with a pass from Drew Brees.
You know, Baldy, the big run by Reggie Bush, when you look at the first 2 years, what's surprising to me is the lack of big runs. You'd figure Reggie Bush would lead the league in big runs. It's great for the Saints to get that out of him early in the game.
So Garrett Hartley looking to give the Saints a 7-0 lead, and he does. So just when it looked like the Falcons were driving down to take a familiar early lead, the Saints draw first blood. We'll be right back.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. No matter how you prepare for game day, Visa is the way to go. By Sprint, join the Now Network. And by the 2009 Cadillac CTS.
Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Now get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD. Saints going 52 yards on 3 plays. And a 5-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees to Reggie Bush. And it was Jason David's interception and 24-yard return that set it up. And now Garrett Hartley will be kicking off. Jarius Norwood is back deep at the 2, returning for Atlanta. and slips and is down at the 22-yard line. So Matt Ryan comes out again after the interception. Well, this could be a high-scoring game. That means the Atlanta Falcons will have to get their offense in high gear. The likes of Matt Ryan, Michael Turner, and of course the wide receiver Roddy White in that group will start from the 22-yard line. Falcons have lost their last 4 games here at the Superdome. They'll send Mahaley, the fullback, to the left, and the handoff to Michael Turner. And not much for Turner, and stopped immediately.
Dick, there's just a real schism here, home and away, throughout this division, but amongst these two quarterbacks. You look at Matt Ryan's quarterback rating at home in Atlanta, where they've only lost 1 game to Denver, and then the same thing with Drew Brees. He lost the 1 game on the Monday night, but look at his home quarterback rating versus what it is on the road.
Hey, the division is 22-2 overall at home. 2nd down and 9. And Harry Douglas, the rookie, going in motion, and they'll go to Turner off the left side. Michael Turner cuts upfield and is stopped at the 27-yard line as we have our first game break of the day, checking in with Kurt Menefee in L.A.
Well, Dick, much like your game, the Bears score off a Jacksonville turnover. Just a quick 2-yard pass from Kyle Desmond Clark. Nonetheless, it's a 7-0 lead in the first quarter in Chicago. Back to Dick and the Killer Bees.
They love that offense in Chicago. What's happened to the defense? And so we'll see what the Bears do as the season moves on in that NFC North. Meanwhile, it's 3rd down and 4. And Ryan gets time in the pocket, and the pass is knocked away by Osama Young, defending against Roddy White. So Young, who has come in for the injured Randall Gay at cornerback, makes a play there, forcing the Falcons to punt.
The way Atlanta is responding to the challenge. They've had a lot of challenges. They had to go to the West Coast, win a West Coast game. They've done 2 of those. Came back against Carolina. Now doing it on the road against New Orleans. Starting out. This is not the way Mike Smith wanted to start out.
And Reggie Bush is back to return the punt. He handled some of them last week as Michael Kanan lifts another high kick. Flag goes down. Bush at the 33. Remember, there's a penalty marker down, and he gets tripped up shy of midfield by Jason Snelling. But a penalty marker down. Bill Levy is the referee this afternoon.
Well, whatever happened, it happened early.
Yes.
Before it was even
During
caught.
the kick, holding, number 15 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down Saints. Timeout.
So Courtney Roby committing the penalty, and that will bring the Saints back. They'll take the timeout right here. Saints in front 7-0. They used to wear bags over their heads here in terrible days, but now I guess that's an improvement.
Well, I mean, the mask are never out of style in this town.
No, you're right. 1st and 10 at the 23. And Reggie Bush lining up in the backfield, and the pass going to Jeremy Shockey. And Shockey, who appears to have a big role in this game, according to Sean Payton, gets the 1st down and 18 yards.
Well, Jeremy Shockey, when coming in from New York, the expectations went through the roof. When he came down here from New York, he had been with Sean Payton before. You could see the excitement in Drew Brees' eyes when early in the season he had Jeremy Shockey. It's been a bit of a rough road, but he's still a talent that adds to the collective of this New Orleans offense.
And he's getting healthy now for the first time. Healthy as he's been.
Here, Thomas. And Thomas crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line, getting 5 yards on that clip. Nearly 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Saints leading the Falcons 7-0. Atlanta coming in 1 game behind the Bucs and the Panthers, who play tomorrow night. The winner of that game will take over the lead in the NFC South.
You see the number here with Drew Brees. You can't let him get him a rhythm, Baldy.
No.
Atlanta's got to do anything they can to disrupt the rhythm that Drew Brees already appears to be in.
2nd down and 5. Brees. Posted, defended by Chris Houston, and that will bring up 3rd down and 5.
What I like about this Atlanta secondary right now, as young as they are, Chris Houston in his 2nd year at Arkansas, is how they'll challenge receivers. And that time, Chris Houston on that proverbial island against Marcus Colston, a guy much bigger than him, really played with him, played on him right there, and was able to defend that pass.
And Drew Brees checked to that. Yep. He saw the matchup. He knew where he wanted to go. He checked to try to exploit that.
3rd down and 5. Colston had his best game of the year against the Falcons. So on 3rd down and 5, Brees, nowhere near Lance Moores, who is really spinning the other way. Jevis Jackson was the closest defender, so the Falcons hold the Saints.
You just don't see this very often between Brees and any of his receivers, where there is clear. I mean, that's just a rub, a natural way in man-to-man coverage to get a guy open. And Lance Moore, one of the more intelligent receivers in this league, and maybe the most intelligent on the team. A breakdown between him and Brees on that play.
Brian Finneran is back deep, and Greg Pakalak will be punting for the 2nd time. Finneran says, I'm going to let this one roll, and it's a great roll for the Saints, and it will go out of bounds at the 2-yard line, and a timeout. So Pakalak from the University of Kentucky couldn't do it any better. Well, Wednesday on Fox, they are the richest people in America, but for 1 week they'll live in poor neighborhoods and for minimum wages while keeping their identity hidden. Their mission? To share their wealth with those they find worthy. Secret Millionaire, all new this Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
This is always an interesting place on your play calling sheet. I used to love Bobby Bowden. He used to say, don't get nervous, somebody's going to score here. Great place for a shot down the field to push you off the shadow of your goal line.
First down from the 2 from Matt Ryan, the rookie. And from his end zone, and he's going to go deep toward Roddy White. And a flag goes down, and they're going to rule it incomplete, that he was out of bounds. No more force out in this league.
They're also going to get Roddy White on a push-off down here at the bottom against Usama Young. Just that little push there to get that separation. Well, he got both feet down. I don't know if he had possession.
And he didn't need it. He didn't need that.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Offensive pass interference, number 84. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
And it's interesting, we were looking at the video last night of Mike Pereira and some of the plays, and they say they are watching that offensive pass interference, and we saw an example of that there.
And it's been called more this year than than I can in recent memory. He really didn't need it.
No.
The guy was going past. He was in great position. Just instinctively kind of put his hands up.
And of course, Mike Pereira is the head of officials in the National Football League, and he must look at the video for 3 straight days. 2nd down and 10. And here's Turner, and gets hit at the goal line and is stopped within the 1-yard line. It's Scott Shanley with a terrific play. Loss of 1 for the Falcons.
And a real test now for the young quarterback, Matt Ryan. Obviously, New Orleans coming up here, filling all the gaps aggressively. They got the cornerback coming up as well. They were smelling safety, Baldy, but they couldn't quite keep him out of the end zone. But Matt Ryan here, this is going to, what kind of confidence you have in Matt Ryan? Because if you have to punt from here, you're almost assuredly giving up points.
Third and 11, and on the slant, Roddy White with the catch and the first down. Well, we learned something about Matt Ryan, maybe that we didn't know before.
Well, we're going to see the catch here by Roddy White, which is a great catch. That ball's in the air before Roddy ever put the foot in the ground to run that slant pattern. Watch how quickly Matt Ryan gets this ball out of his hands. It's like Derek Jeter turning a double play.
And quarterbacks hate the slant route because they don't know what's coming out underneath. To call that, execute that from the 1-yard line, this guy just keeps impressing us play after play.
15 yards on that one, and nothing for Michael Turner. What did Mike Smith say? We see so many wow plays in practice during the week, and we don't know when we're going to see another wow. We saw one there.
That was a wow play to make that kind of throw. It's a safe throw. You could say, well, that wasn't a big time of throw. Yeah, it was. In that situation, Baldy, that was a big time throw.
Well, it is, because what you talked about was you got to throw that ball before you're really sure exactly how the defense is going to play it. You got to put it out there and let the receiver go get it. Sometimes defensive backs read that. They read the route better than the receiver.
2nd down and 10. Saints lead 7-0. Harry Douglas in motion to the right. They're going to run it again. They're forward. But Norwood is stopped by Jeff Charleston, who was signed in Week 6, played with the Colts last year, and gave way to start the game to Will Smith.
Well, one thing about the Falcons, even though they're down 7-0, they've run the ball a whole lot more than they've thrown it this year. This is a patient team offensively. They're not afraid to stay with it. Matt Ryan covering up his ears here because probably can't hear the signal coming in with the crowd standing on its feet, knowing how important this third down is.
And remember, 43 of those 60 Saint yards was that one play by Reggie Bush. Third down and 11. And they're going to have a false start penalty. Tyson Clabo, the right tackle.
False start. Number 77 offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, talking to Mike Smith last night, head coach of Atlanta, he said, we have to be able to handle the environment, meaning handle the noise, handle the crowd. It's our first game on the road inside a dome, and he knows what it's like playing in that Georgia dome when that crowd is going. And right there is an example, Tyson Clabo jumping.
And they test these young guys because they scatter their formation. They're at the line a long time, the linemen are. Anytime you shift and motion and do the things they're doing, that's going to test you in this environment.
Now it's 3rd and 16. Ryan's pass, and it's caught by Roddy White, but he will be shy of the first down by about 6 yards thanks to Usama Young. He picked up 9, but at least Matt Ryan got out of deep trouble, Baldy.
They got off the goal line. They got off the goal line. Now they still have to punt to Reggie Bush, who early in this game already looks like he's the fastest player on the field and the healthiest he's been in 2 months.
He does, doesn't he, Baldy? We saw him last week, and a little bit had to do with the field, but he does. And it's at home. You know, on this turf, he's very comfortable, but he does look like he's back to his normal, quick, and aggressive style.
Kanan's kick fielded by Reggie Bush and nowhere to go but out of bounds. And a great kick that time by Michael Kanan of 51 yards. We're coming up in the NFL on Fox. Second half of our doubleheader, and it's a big one. The Cowboys and the Steelers.
Tell you what, the Cowboy, I bet you've been in the Steelers, Baldy, you've been there. It looks like it's going to be an ugly day.
Yeah.
That's going to be a heck of a test for the Cowboys.
And it's the best defense in football on every single level, and how Romo handles that pass rush in Pittsburgh determine a big part of their success with no Marion Barber today.
And Ben Roethlisberger, who slipped and was shaken up during the week, is all right. So that'll be a battle royal coming up in the second half of our doubleheader. First down on the 28, and the give is to Reggie Bush. And Bush, you guys are right. You can see the extra hop in his step as he is stopped at the 34 by Michael Boley after a pickup of 5.
And if they can get Reggie Bush cranked up out of the eye like that, Baldy, what that does to Drew Brees' play fake and shots down the field is huge. He's not a particularly dynamic between the tackles runner. We talked about it earlier about that's got to be the element part of the game, or the part of the game they add to their total package. But if they can then do that and then play action fake off of it, it's going to be huge.
2nd and 4. Jeremy Shockey is wide to the left. And going for him is Shockey. And Brees hitting his tight end. And the first down out to the 43, picking up 9.
Well, it's clear that Shockey, along with Reggie Bush, are a big part of the game plan early today. And maybe, Brian, the coach, the big reason is these guys keep getting healthier and healthier and more comfortable in this offense.
They were gone. They did not have their complete package back until last week of their entire cadre of personnel. We're beginning to see what an impact they can be.
Half a minute remaining in the first quarter. And on the rollout, the pass is caught by Colston, and he spins his way to the first down, and it should be the end of the first quarter as the Saints get into Falcon territory to the 46. A first down. Drew Brees, who earlier threw his 25th touchdown pass to Reggie Bush to account for the only points in the game. And that'll be the end of the first quarter here at the Superdome with the score. The Saints 7, Falcons nothing. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages. We begin the second quarter in New Orleans. Dick Stockton along with Brian Billick, Brian Baldinger. That's the coach, and Baldy and Laura Oakman down on the field. Saints lead 7-0, and Drew Brees with a first down on the 46 of Atlanta. Pierre Thomas with a big run. And that's what Sean Payton said. We're going to have more balance this week. And Lawyer Malloy brings them down after a gain of 18.
Well, you could see the effect that the pass-happy offense the New Orleans Saints has on Atlanta here, because they've been hit with 2 big draws now off of obviously a drop-back action.
Well, they had both safeties deep that time. They've got balance. I mean, here's the 2 safeties on the play, Brian. When they're back like that and they're defending against these receivers, that's the time to run it, and that's exactly what they did.
First down at the 28, so the Saints with the lead and threatening. Breeze with the catch. And let's see if it's intercepted. It is, according to the officials. And off the hands of Colston and Shevis Jackson, who 4 weeks ago returned a Drew Brees pass for a touchdown, has intercepted another Drew Brees pass. Let's see if there's a challenge. Oh, there should be. Yep.
Today's game is sponsored by Nissan. When you need it most, Nissan delivers. For attractive lease and finance options, visit your Nissan dealer. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Citizen Echo Drive, fueled by light, it never needs a battery. And by Miller Lite. Reach for the original Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Now that's a great thought.
Back here in New Orleans, 7-0 Saints lead, and their head coach Sean Payton challenging the ruling on the field that the pass from Drew Brees was intercepted.
I guess you officially have to actually drop it, even though you just told the guy. It's clearly there, hits the ground.
That ball hits the ground. I mean, Shevis Jackson does a good job of just trying to scoop it up and show a catch, but I think this is going to come back to the Saints.
And this is an opportunity now, Baldy. You talk about spots to take a shot to the end zone. Obviously a big turnover. You get the ball on the 40-yard line. But this is one Atlanta, that was going to be their ball. They've stopped this tide. Now they're not going to get it back. It'll be interesting to see if New Orleans comes back and tries to take advantage of that emotionally and put the ball down into the end zone.
Well, 2nd and 10 play, and, you know, you have a little bit of a lull here. Go strike now. Strike while it's, well, you get a chance, you know, with the ball.
Typically in this situation, draw, screen is what you're looking for. And if they're too passive, we may very well see that. Drew Brees has the capacity, we've seen already, to check the offense from a run to a pass. We've seen it a couple times already.
Well, already the New Orleans Saints have withstood that first score that the Falcons have done this year, and they've been 6-0 when they have scored first. And Bill Levy will give us his determination.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. With the timer put 14-18 on the game clock, it'll be 2nd and 10 on the 29-yard line. New Orleans is not charged a timeout.
Well, they've had a lot of time, Peyton, with his team to dial up something interesting here.
And it all went through his mind right there. You know, there's, okay, let's follow up. We want to run the ball. We want to have the balance. Let's go vertical because it's an emotional swing for Atlanta. But they may know that, so they may be passive.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they come up with.
Well, I know this, Coach.
I've given you a lot of direction here, haven't I?
You gave me a bunch, and I expect that from a coach. But the one guy that feels like he's off the hook is Marcus Colston, because he did not want to be the guy that had the ball go through his hands and him be the result of the interception.
Now he can exhale, right, Baldy?
That's what coaches do. They give you a lot, you know, because they got to cover themselves.
2nd down and 10, and here is Drew Brees, and Brees is passed, and the comeback pattern is caught for the first down by Lance Moore. And how effective has Lance Moore been as he's looking for his 6th game in a row with a touchdown? This time he gets 11 yards.
And how great is it to have a guy like Lance Moore, who was an undrafted free agent. Okay, here on the backside you can see, we talked earlier, Bald, you talked about they were going to put bodies on Abraham. They're doing it right there.
They just bounced him right off our screen.
First down on the 17. Reggie Bush is the tailback. Reggie Bush gets the call, turns the corner, and they go out of bounds. Shy of the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 14. Chris Houston made the aggressive play, and a pickup of 4.
But Baldy, to finish my point earlier about Lance Moore, here you got Lance Moore, who's an undrafted free agent. On the other side, you got Marcus Colson, the 7th-round draft choice.
Yeah.
This is the #1 passing offense in the league. How great is it with all the money we spend on drafting this and identifying that? You get a 7th-round draft choice and a guy that walks up off the street to be your top 2 guys.
Well, you can bounce your cap a little bit easier when you have those guys in it.
You can pay your quarterback.
Second down and 6. Early in the second, here's Thomas trying to turn the corner, but the Falcons are equal to the task. Thomas does get something short of the first down, and a 5-yard pickup by Pierre Thomas. Boley leading the charge.
Baldy, we've had New Orleans a couple times, and you've commented on about their play calling on 3rd and short. For a team that is one of the best 3rd down conversion teams in the league, they're not real good on 3rd and short.
They just put Deuce McAllister in the game for the first time today, and they're active. He's activated today after being suspended earlier this week, and then having an injunction. He'll get the ball here in his 3rd down play.
Flurry of activity, Baldy, on Friday, so McAllister is in on 3rd down and 1, and here is McAllister, and very close, and one of the players has lost his helmet, and to bring up to date, Will Smith and Deuce McAllister, federal judge blocked the NFL from suspending 5 players on Friday for violating the league's anti-doping policy, using that banned diuretic. It's all you were hearing about. And so Smith and McAllister eligible to play today, but it looked like Deuce came up empty. And so it'll be another short yardage play.
Well, you know, when Reggie Bush is running as well as he is, and Pierre Thomas is running the ball well, you take a guy that hasn't had a carry, you know, since the second half last week, was suspended, didn't practice this week, and then you put the ball in his hands.
Right.
I don't know if he has the feel for the game at all at this point to go in there and get that yard.
It's 4th down and about a yard.
4th down and a yard.
Field goal. You read the lips right there. I think it was the length of that yard, a little bit more than a yard, that said, you know what, let's still get some points here rather than gamble.
And if it were shorter than that, you knew Sean Payton, he want to think about that one now. He's got that killer mentality, and I don't like taking 3 when I'm this close to a 7.
So Hartley will attempt a 26-yard field goal, and I think the Falcons will take something away from this for not letting the Saints get into the end zone with that kind of an offense. So here is Hartley from 26 yards out. And the kick is good, and the Saints now lead it 10-0 early in the second quarter. The Saints lead the Falcons. 10-play, 63-yard scoring drive, capped by a Garrett Hartley field goal, and he will kick off now. And deep for the Falcons is Jarius Norwood. Falcons are 3-3 on the road this year, and the rest of their schedule will be played in domes. And the kickoff by Hartley into the end zone, and it'll be run out by Norwood. And Norwood brings it out past the 25-yard line. Well, the Falcons have to start getting things together, Baldy.
Well, they haven't gotten off to a good start. I mean, visiting teams have not won in this division. They haven't played well. You get the drop by Michael Turner, and then the interception on the throw to Roddy White by Jason David. That stopped that drive. And then third down stop there, and then an illegal procedure by Tyson Clabo, the right tackle, number 77. And right now the Falcons have been their own worst enemy early in this game.
There you see their team leaders on offense, and they will begin from the 26. Ryan looking for a receiver on his feet, and going deep, Roddy White downfield, and White comes up with it. Roddy White wrestles a Saint defender, and it was Roman Harper, and gets 59 yards out of it. What a play by both Ryan and White.
Well, the play was initiated by Ryan because he shows his athleticism. People don't think of him as that. Roddy White here working against a double team. Josh Bullock's on the top side. Now, you see Matt Ryan pumps to Roddy White, go deep. And he did, and then he was able to use his strength to fight off Roman Harper to be able to make that throw. Matt Ryan likes what he sees in that play.
And a first down on the 15 of New Orleans. play action rollout, and the pass is caught by White, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
This is unusual now. For a right-handed quarterback, they bootleg Matt Ryan to the left just about more than anybody I've seen in this league. And one thing he'll do, fundamentally, watch him square his shoulders and then throw off one foot. Throw off that right foot to bounce himself out to get that nice line drive laser shot to Roddy White.
And it's a huge advantage for a play caller when you're comfortable calling your boots and waggles either direction, because typically you have a heavy tendency to go to the side of the quarterback's arm.
2nd down and 1. And here is Turner. It'll be close. And it was Will Smith, Jason David coming up from the secondary. And no gain on the play. So now 3rd down and 1 coming up.
Well, on this particular drive, we just see 2 plays by Matt Ryan.
And it is a 1st down, apparently, on second thought. So it'll be 1st and goal, Baldy.
First set of downs, and we see Matt Ryan escape pressure, get out, set his feet, and actually direct traffic to get the ball down to Roddy White. And then we saw him bootleg to the left. His ability to move, to change the pocket, change his launching points has been huge.
Tight end Justin Peele going in motion. And here is Turner going up the middle and walking in for the touchdown. Michael Turner with a touchdown, and the Falcons come back here.
This is a design cutback here by Michael Turner. Fullback goes to the left. He's going to cut this thing back. Good job by Obi Moheli, blocking the backside, sealing it.
And set up by the previous play, because the backside end didn't block but released as though it was going to be the boot that they had just executed the play before.
Jason Elam with the extra point, and it's good. So Michael Turner's 14th rushing touchdown ties Jamal Anderson's Falcons record that he established back in 1998. Louisiana Superdome, the scene today as the Saints and the Falcons battle, and Atlanta coming back with a response touchdown after the Saints went for the field goal, which is interesting how quickly Atlanta came back with that.
Well, all elements. Great defense on a 3rd short by New Orleans, or by Atlanta, and then the 4-play 74-yard drive for a touchdown.
Courtney Roby returns it as he gets to the 23-yard line. So Drew Brees coming out again. This is the #1 pass offense, prolific, and they've got Pierre Thomas running the ball. Reggie Bush missed 4 games, but back in stride. And of course, Drew Brees, who it all starts with #9.
Well, Baldy, we talked about how Atlanta was going to hold up to the emotional surges of it. We've seen that with the 3rd one stop, the long drive. Now we're going to see if New Orleans can come back and regain emotional control of the game.
From the 23, 1st down. They fake a run, and the pass caught by Jeremy Shockey. You're right, Baldy. He's a major player in this game so far.
He looks special right now. I mean, the way he's moving. Coach, here he is at the end of the line, just going to run that seam route. You see the linebackers cheating up here, Brooking and Lofton.
With a quick play action fake, because they've hit them on the draw from that same formation. Those linebackers stepped up because of it.
And that's why you've got to continue to fight to run the ball on this team. Even if it's not effective, even if you miss a 3rd and 1 run, stay with it.
21 yards for Shockey there. 1st down at the 44. Reed going to post it. And saving the 1st down was Shevis Jackson. And for a game break, let's check in again with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Dick, Titans and Bengals, and Tennessee had been down until this. Kerry Collins hooking up with Ahmad Hall, 28 yards on the score for the ex-Marine, and it's a 7-6 lead. Tennessee on top for the first time today in the 2nd quarter. Back to Dick and Baldy, Brian and Laura.
That's a mouthful, Kurt. We're back, and it's 2nd down and 2. And Pierre Thomas rushes for the 1st down as he gets to the 45 of the Falcons.
You know, the #1 goal of the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons, Brian Van Gorder, said, is we've got to limit the yards after the catch today. They thought they did that well a month ago when they won the game 34-20. And he was saying that with these receivers, with the passing game, the rhythm that Drew Brees can get into, we got to just tackle the catch. That time, Marcus Colston with the catch. they tackled him right away.
And they knocked down 15 balls and had 3 interceptions. You need that total package to stop an offense like the New Orleans Saints.
First down, Shockey went in motion to the slot on the right, but it's Reggie Bush here. And the ball is knocked away. Keith Brooking, good coverage downfield with Reggie Bush, breaks it up as we check in with Laura. Laura.
That was a good play by Keith Brooking, defending Reggie Bush coming out of the backfield.
Laura, your voice has gotten so much lower.
Little bass
Sounds
there.
like bowling a little bit.
Someone let go of Laura.
So it'll be second down and 10 at the 45. 10-7, the Saints lead the Falcons. And here is Thomas. Thomas inside the 30. Running the ball a lot better than they did last week. Eric Coleman, the free safety, initially missed. Thomas, who gets 18 yards.
Baldy, this is as simple as a screwdriver, straight downhill. We've not seen this type of direct play calling, direct running from the Saints in the games we've done previously.
Weak side lead draw. I mean, you just kind of show pass a little bit, let your fullback go and get a lead block on the weak side linebacker, which he did. Let the pass rush get sucked up and let Pierre Thomas come behind him.
Now Reggie Bush is back in there. First down. And Breeze going for Shockey. Shockey had beaten the defender downfield. He had a linebacker on him. And in fact, it was a correction. John Abraham was defending Shockey downfield. Goes incomplete, second and 10.
You got to change up and in the scheme that they have and do some different things with John Abraham. Running him down the field with Jeremy Shockey, Baldy, is not, I would not put that high on the list.
Well, let me say this. For a defense. But Sean Payton is like, give me that play again. Give me Abraham on Shockey one more time. I'm going to call it again.
Saints have already rushed for 112 yards. 10 below their season's mark. They're going to go to the air here. Big time pressure coming up the middle was John Abraham. And Breeze just had to get rid of it in a hurry. And we are going to make a second attempt to check in with Laura.
Much better. You guys hear me? Are we okay? I was talking this week to Lance Moore, who told me he had never seen Drew Brees more down than he has this week. He said Drew told him, I felt like I let the whole team down last week. And when Lance told him we all made mistakes, Drew said I was the only one who threw 3 interceptions. He said it was the first time ever he's had to pick up Drew, because it's always Drew that picks up everyone else on this team. That's his role. But Lance said the one good thing is when Drew's that upset, it usually never happens again.
There's Lance Moore.
Never's a long time. Third down and 10, but we get the picture. He's quite a leader. And the pass is caught by Marcus Colston. First down inside the 10-yard line. And Marcus Colston, who struggled earlier.
Number 7,
and that'll come back.
10-yard
holding penalty against Jamal Brown, the left tackle, nullifies a 20-yard pickup.
Sean Payton said our #1 job today is to handle John Abraham. Now, right here, Jamal Brown, the left tackle, has no help. So right now, see that arm under, he takes him down to the ground, and John Abraham knows the flag came out. I did my job. We got a holding call, and we're backing the Saints up.
And when you're Drew Brees at quarterback, and the way he's able to move so subtly in the pocket to extend those plays, to make those big plays down the field, that's putting a lot of pressure. And Jamal Brown's a pretty darn good tackle, but that's a lot of pressure to hold up against John Abraham one-on-one.
That could set you out of field goal range, a penalty like that. Third down and 20 down to the 37.
Now they put a tight end, Shockey, over there to help out.
And pressure from behind, picked up Breeze. Completes it to Lance Moore. And Moore gets out of bounds. Well, they are in field goal range, but it's fourth down and they need about 12.
Well, here's the solution. Let's double team John Abraham. And John Abraham said, sometimes I'll see as many as 4 guys over there trying to stop me. Now they get him down to the ground, allow Drew Brees to step up, but you lose an option in Shockey down the field when you're forced to keep him in to help out.
And that impact on an offense like the New Orleans Saints that would have loved to have had that receiver out is huge.
Garrett Hartley, who made a 26-yarder, will attempt this from 46 yards out to add to the Saints lead, and he goes. Second field goal for Hartley, who had 2 40-plus field goals in bad weather in Tampa Bay. 13-7 Saints. Back in New Orleans, 6:10 remaining in the first half, and a 13-7 Saints lead. 9 plays, 49 yards, and once again the Falcons halted the drive by the Saints and forced them into settling for 3. Hartley will be kicking off to Jarius Norwood. From the 3-yard line, Norwood brings it out to the 24.
Well, you got to love, Baldy, the way both teams respond emotionally to adversity. Atlanta, even though they not things gone their way, you know, it's like what else could happen to us, but they're down by 6 points.
Well, you know, this division, though, Brian, the big picture, the division is very good. The #1 rated offense in football is 6-6, the New Orleans Saints, the worst team in the division right now. I mean, Atlanta is a quality team, and just now, I mean, Pam Oliver talked about in the pregame show today, people are finding out.
From the 23, first down. Norwood is the running back, but Matt Ryan looking to put it in the air and lofts it. And the pass is ruled a catch by Roddy White and a first down. Well, a lot of teams will gamble on quarterbacks, and those that did for Troy Aikman, Drew Bledsoe, Peyton Manning, opening day starters, and took their team to a Super Bowl championship. What about Joe Flacco in Baltimore, Matt Ryan here in Atlanta? Both are 8-4 and playing the right cards apparently.
And keeping the interceptions and turnovers down to a minimum.
First down at the 37. After the pickup of 12, there's Norwood off the right side. And a good play made by Jonathan Vilma after a pickup of 2.
Well, you know, in Baltimore right now, Joe Flacco be seen tonight against the Redskins. 9 interceptions here, a run-based offense. Matt Ryan here threw the 1 today to get him to 7 interceptions. Has fumbled once, but has done a great job of taking care of the ball, yet still able to make the big plays down the field.
2nd and 8. And the play clock, plenty of time on it for Matt Ryan.
This is what he's so good at. Just engineering the offense at the line of scrimmage, knowing exactly what play he wants and how much time he has left.
And the give is to Norwood. Norwood with a first down in midfield. Boy, how did he learn that so fast?
Well, last week, and here you can see there was a no huddle. They kicked into a no huddle, just ran a delayed draw here, straight down the field. Last week, or 2 weeks ago against Carolina, when they had to stem the tide of the Carolina Panthers, they went to no huddle with their young quarterback. They're doing the same thing here.
Okay, well, this is called the sugar huddle. Just calling the plays at the line of scrimmage, impervious to the noise and the surroundings, and the poise to operate.
From midfield, first down for Matt Ryan. And his pass caught by the rookie Harry Douglas. And Douglas is out of bounds at the 22, covered by Josh Bullock's 28 on this play.
Well, this is the throw here to the corner. He gets man-to-man coverage, and he's got the leverage on Thomas there. And his ability right now at the line of scrimmage to operate this, to give him a little bit of a lift, is not many guys can do this in a league.
And again, directing traffic with the no huddle. A rookie, looks like he's been around for 10 years. First down, nearly 3.5 to go in the first half. And a running play dialed up to Norwood, but the Saints are there. And no gain on that play.
Baldy, the Saints are pretty straightforward in their defensive package. Some would say maybe a little too straightforward. And that's part of what's allowing Matt Ryan to do what he wants at the line of scrimmage. They've got to change up their looks a little bit, make it a little tougher for the rookie.
Ball control practically even on the rollout. And Roddy White with the catch and knocked out of bounds, stopping the clock at 3:06 with Young. Remember, Randall Gay came out of the game early, the cornerback for the Saints, who had lost 3 of their starters since the start of the year, and Osama Young has played well in his stead.
You know, talking to Mike Malarkey, the offensive coordinator, he said that Matt Ryan took the offense this week and went over the no-huddle offense, the 2-minute drill in front of the entire offense, and laid it all out for him, exactly what he wants, the looks he's looking for, and he wants the guys to do. He said it was like a coach standing up there in front of the team.
Great maturity in his rookie year. Now looking at 3rd down and 3, Baldy, from the 15. And here comes the pressure, the pass, and a great catch by Jenkins on the high throw, and it'll be 1st and goal inside the 5. A bullet thrown by Ryan, a 12-yard first down play.
So far, we haven't heard from Michael Jenkins. Now a big third down conversion. This is a big, good-looking receiver, 6'4", 215 pounds, a first-round draft choice out of Ohio State. We've seen, obviously, Roddy White, big #1 receiver to go to. You've also seen Harry Douglas. You throw in now Michael Jenkins, who's gotten better and better every week. That's a pretty good trio of receivers.
And the thing is, Brian, we're talking about Falcon receivers. We never talked about Falcon receivers. They were always the problem. Now with the quarterback, these guys are emerging.
And a timeout called by the Saints. And, of course, Pam Oliver profiled the Atlanta great year. And it was the first time we really had seen Tom Dimitroff, the new general manager, who, along with Mike Smith, drafting what could be a franchise quarterback.
That's Terry Robisky, longtime coach in this league, one-time interim head coach in Washington, who coaches the receivers and has been extremely hard on Roddy White to keep getting better and better, and he has responded.
1st and goal from the 3. 8th play of the drive. Turner tripped up, but gets to the 2. It'll be 2nd down and goal, and the clock stopping again, and the Saints with their 2nd timeout.
See, Michael Turner's got that splint on his right thumb. Asked him if that bothers him when he carries the ball. He likes carrying it in his left hand anyways, and he said it's always high and tight. Last week, he fumbled. He said it wasn't a fumble. He said he should have challenged the play. He was down when it happened. Over 340 carries with just one fumble. This guy protects the football.
And when we talked about that one fumble, he burred up a little bit.
He did, yeah.
He wanted to make sure we understood that wasn't a fumble.
Look how a team can turn things around.
Right. You got to look at this franchise right now as the model franchise for any team that is struggling in this league, that it can be done. It can be done in a year if you do the right things, and it always happens. It always helps to have a franchise back and a franchise quarterback.
And we keep talking about it. Was there a team in worse emotional condition at the end of the year than the Atlanta Falcons last year?
I don't believe so.
2nd down and goal. Ball at the 2. And there's Ryan. And throws it away. A souvenir for a fan.
Smart, though. Smart. He ran out of real estate. They had the rollout covered. He extended the play as long as he could. And he said, you know what? 2nd down, we'll go to 3rd down to try to make the play.
Michael Jenkins, to come back to Michael, this is a place that Michael Jenkins needs to show up. Big physical receiver, can go up vertical for the ball, looking for the matchups. Or you see Roddy White down here, one-on-one with Jason David.
With a lot of room.
Big play here in this first half. 3rd down and goal. And there is the fade pass, and it is caught by Ryan Finneran for the touchdown. A jump ball against Usama Young, and Finneran came down with it.
Well, Brian, we mentioned the options of Roddy White and Mike Jenkins, but you can't forget the tallest receiver on their team, Brian Finneran, and always a red zone threat. I think he got both feet down.
And he's got control. The fans are kind of
they want everything.
Wolfing up a little bit, and that's gotten Sean Payton to think about it.
They're right at the feet.
Yeah, and when you go down to the 2-yard line to throw the red flag in front of the official, you're trying to make a point.
This is on the opposite 5.
New Orleans is challenging the ruling on the field.
2,
the receiver got
control,
2 feet down inbound.
Down. Yeah, that's a touchdown.
Well, it was almost like Brian caught that pass and got it down in slow motion. 1 foot down, 2 feet down, and then made sure he squeezed the ball into the body.
And Mike Smith talked about how important it was to have leadership in every group. And for the receiver group, Brian Finneran is that guy. He's got a young group with Roddy White, Michael Jenkins, Harry Douglas. Brian Finneran is that veteran for him among that group. On the offensive line, it's McClure, the center, who's having a great year.
You know, I think Sean Payton was upset, thought that Finneran might have pushed off Now,
well, you can't challenge
Flag's
that.
Flag's not going to help you on that one.
But
that's why I think he went all the way down to the 2
he wants to
throw the red flag, because he was making a point. He's none too happy about anything that went on in
Well,
this
I don't
play.
know if he thought both feet got down. He sees the knee land down out of bounds, but already the foot was dragged. The toe was down. We talked to Matt Ryan yesterday about his preparation during the week, and even coming back from San Diego late on Monday night. 40 players were in working out on Monday and Tuesday. He had all the receivers in there watching film.
Well, they did a good job of it. Let's see. Yeah, that's what Sean Payton was upset about, that right arm pushing off, and it's not going to change if both feet are on.
After reviewing the play, the receiver got both feet down inbounds. It is a touchdown. New Orleans will be charged their third and final timeout, and they are now out of challenges for the remainder of the game.
So Finneran with the big touchdown catch as the call stands.
And that's worth a challenge, even if you know you're wrong. Maybe there's something, because this is a big play. This was a big emotional swing for them. To hold him to 3 would have been huge.
But no challenges the rest of the game, Brian.
Jason Elam looking to give the Falcons the lead, and he does. It's 14-13. The Falcons lead the Saints, and Matt Ryan with a touchdown pass. Let's get to know the rookie from Boston College.
I was a shooting guard on a high school basketball team. I got an elbow kind of right to the face, took a bunch of stitches, and had tape around my head. Was made fun of in school for the next week for looking like Rambo. One of the things I did during the preseason was kind of stand in with the musical Oklahoma. I can't really sing, so I just kind of stood there pretty awkward.
You know what's interesting about Matt Ryan is that the Falcons got him because they won a coin flip. It wasn't automatic. Kansas City and Oakland and Atlanta had to flip a coin. The Falcons won it and got the 3rd pick and took Matt Ryan. Could be the franchise quarterback. And you have to go back to 1970. The last time this happened with a great quarterback, when the Steelers and the Bears wound up with the worst record in the league. They had a coin flip. The Steelers won and selected Terry Bradshaw.
Nice to win those coin flips, and to get the franchise quarterback.
Yeah, going forward, you have to have a coin flip coach now.
Yes.
Right. We've got special.
We got coaches for everything else.
Right. Time management guy. You got to have that good coin flip coach caller.
How about Matt Ryan telling us that his brother was a quarterback for his high school team this year, Penn Charter, separated his shoulder, so his cousin came in and finished up the season. The Ryan family going to put out a few more.
Caden's kick, and Roby will down it in the end zone, touchback, and the Saints will start from the 20-yard line, and a tight game. We've seen balance on both sides. Great play by White, and that 59-yard catch was a gem. And then, of course, you've got to talk about Sean Payton twice going for field goals.
Well, the balance we talked about. Sean Payton was committed to getting balance, and here's why. When you throw for over 600 times on a season, it does not bode well for you. You can see the numbers there over the last 10 years. Only one team has gone to the playoffs throwing the ball more than 600 times. They're clearly on that pace. They're trying to get balance today.
Saints will start from the 20-yard line. Reggie Bush, he had a 43-yard run earlier that set up a touchdown. He caught a 5-yard TD pass and gets 7 yards on first down.
And that takes discipline, Baldy, to go back to the point about the 600 throws. When you have a quarterback as efficient as Drew Brees, and you're averaging 7-8 yards a throw, every time you run the ball, you're losing yards.
Yeah.
But you've got to have that balance. Sean Payton knows that, and he knows if they're going to sweep these 4 games you talked about, Dick, they're going to have that balance.
And we're down to the 2-minute warning here. 2nd and 3 coming up when we return to New Orleans. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and the Falcons lead the Saints by 1. It'll be a first down on the New Orleans 28. They are out of timeouts. Reeves on first down. Completes the pass to Shockey. First down. What about the Atlanta Falcons here, who it looked like the Saints had the momentum of this game, now coming back the way they did?
You talked about the road record in this division. Home teams hugely dominant. For a young team to respond the way they did and put it on their quarterback with a no-huddle offense.
And the pass caught by Marcus Colston. And of course, you've seen the Atlanta Falcons many times, and the question is, how long does the balance go for the Saints?
Well, I think that, right now, they just haven't finished drives. I think it's worked for them today. We'll see what happens in this 2-minute drive that Drew Brees is engineering. But I think that's the only way that they can win.
Henderson with his first catch of the game. And remember, no timeouts remaining. And a first down to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 18. And if anyone can manage the 2-minute drill without a timeout, be Brees.
Yeah, well, we saw Matt Ryan do it very well. Drew Brees just clocked it to stop the clock. Gives up a down, but they can now reset. They can huddle. Get a couple plays here from Sean Payton as Drew Brees now listens. And he's been pretty well protected today. But that's what the balance will do when you're running the ball like they are.
And Atlanta's aware of that. We saw last week, Baldy, with New Orleans at Tampa. Obviously a great defense. And what was it? It's the end of the half, a 2-minute drill. Drew Brees taking the length of the field to score.
Second down and 10 for the Saints on the 42 of Atlanta. Make the handoff. Here is Lance Moore. On the quick, Moore. Turn it on. Goes out of bounds. Stops the clock after getting a first down to the 27. 15 yards.
Sean Payton said that Lance Moore is the smartest receiver they have. He could have taken that ball up the middle, but would have been tackled in the field of play. The clock would have run. He shortened the run after the catch to get out of bounds.
And want to remind you that coming up, the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy, scores and highlights, and the Fox Sports ticker. 43 seconds. Robert Meacham in the lineup for the first time, number 17 to the right. Brees is not looking there right now. And this pass, an open receiver, Lance Moore, who had beaten the defenders downfield inside the 10.
Well, he had Chris Houston down here, Coach. He fell. He had a wide open Lance Moore and just overshoots him.
Drew Brees, obviously in this situation, would love to have the throwback, but when you saw Drew, he was under pressure, stepped up ever so subtly to avoid the rush, but it did throw off his timing. Otherwise, that's a guaranteed completion.
Saints have no timeouts left. Brees 4 for 6 on this drive, and in field goal range in the running play to Reggie Bush. Bush is put down after a gain of 1.5 by Michael Boley, the outside linebacker, and the clock continues to run under a half a minute. It'll be third down.
And this is where those loss of timeouts kill you.
All right, third down and 8. Brees steps up, throws it. Covering Henderson with the catch, and time running out. They've got to line up and clock it. And they do with 3 seconds remaining. And what an impressive drive by Drew Brees to get the New Orleans Saints to the 7-yard line, and Hartley will come on to try to give New Orleans the lead again.
What fantastic quarterback play on both sides here today. I mean, excellent. I mean, that is a tight throw between Mike Boley and Laurie Malloy here to get this ball in. Then to get up there, get everybody set to clock it for this opportunity.
18 yards on that play, Baldy, and now Garrett Hartley will try to make it 3 for 3. 25-yard field goal, and the kick is good as time runs out, and the Saints and the Falcons living up to its billing, and the field goal giving New Orleans the lead once again, 16-14. On the third field goal of the first half by Garrett Hartley.
Baldy, you said it. We're seeing two great teams with great quarterback play today. This is fun to watch.
When you're watching quarterback play at this level, you can't help but have an exciting game, and great for television, great for the fans, because the ball's moving and the offenses are moving up and down the field.
To see, obviously, Drew Brees, we saw it last week. We talked about it earlier against Tampa. To see him to do the same thing here. Go back to the point, though, the late challenge down there, which was as much out of frustration as anything else. How much would you have loved to have that time
shot.
Out? Just give me one more shot to the end zone.
One more shot to the end zone.
And a 73-yard scoring drive in 2 minutes and 13 seconds and no timeouts really speaks volumes for this offense and for Drew Brees. And here at the Superdome, we have a tight game. The Saints were up by as many as 10-0 And then 13-7. Finneran's touchdown reception from Matt Ryan gave the Falcons their only lead of the first half before Hartley's 25-yarder as time ran out in the first half, giving the Saints the 2-point lead. And of course, you know the importance of this game. New Orleans at 6-6. They need to win 4 remaining games, and then they still need help. And the Falcons, with a win today, would be 1 game behind the winner of tomorrow night's game between Carolina and Tampa Bay.
And Baldy, when you talk about New Orleans, we talk about they got to sweep the last 4 games. These are winnable games.
That's the end of the first half. Fox NFL Sunday continues with a Visa halftime report after these messages.